What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Showtime is the Blazer King with King's Critiques. Starting caveats would be, like I said in the episode of Waranari, if you watched it, I have the air conditioner running because it is hot as hell, despite what the temperature says it is. So, apologies for the extra noise in the background. Next, a small refresher of, we have a new girl in the mix, the blue-haired chick who's the library assistant. Very serpentine, honestly. But also kind of cute in her own right, and very super squeeze. I even gave her the title of Queen Gay of the show. But that's really all we got from last episode. Oh, and Rue got, stuck in the library. Hopefully not overnight. Secondary caveat, as usual, would be if you have anything in mind to comment about, whether it be about the show, what I do, what I say, or whatever it might be, please don't forget to drop it down there because that's always encouraged and appreciated, even if it is a little rude sometimes. And speaking of appreciated, the next bit is also such of letting the video run through, let me get the watch time, hit the like button, subscribe, and all that good stuff. That being said, get to it. She's noticed you and is your friend now in general. Does it matter? Crazy part is, speaking of Cuckoos, though, I still haven't watched a single episode, a couple of Cuckoos. And, I probably won't buy a shirt specifically for it or anything if I do ever actually go back to watch it. It just is kind of funny. I had high intentions to watch that this season, and I didn't watch a single episode because there was so much else. I remembered another show I'm still super mega behind on, and I gotta catch up to that too at some point. Hopefully next season is easier on me. I at least know two I'm watching immediately that I did order shirts for. But, anyway. I did order the couple of Cuckoos figure, but we'll watch the show. Maybe I'll get back to it eventually, whether my own time, scripted content, or whatever. We shall see. Anywho. Hold on. I didn't know that's what a warbler was. I'm gonna be real with you. I've heard that Robin song 1,000 times. I never knew what a warbler was. Shit, you is T-posing for dominance. Not a bad outfit. Also, I'm gonna go back for a second here. Actually, this specifically. Can you imagine how much fun the voice actors probably have in scenes like this, where one's going off about something specific, and the other probably actually does get the right just to get a little bop, just to initiate that kind of genuine reaction. Because I've seen a lot of shit where, yeah, voice actors have a very hard time doing what they do for this or that reason. The self-pressure, the fan pressure, self-pressure, I understand on the side of a creator, especially one who's still in the position I am. But then you also have the fun side of things, like what I just said, or, like that Alex Lee thing. Arise. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me try. Erect. No! Damn it! She's giving herself a finishing move. And she's about to fall flat on her face. Well, she didn't fall on her face. Well, that's an awkward situation to find yourself in. However, this one will send her into the stratosphere, at least. Okay, but can I just say that a lot of us would probably be the same way. How'd she break the other one? A little bit, Atori. A little bit. Hey, yo, but meanwhile, she's just standing there well, this is kind of what you wanted. Not necessarily, but... with the karate, though? Simp. I really need to learn how to, bread my own chicken properly, because... also, making some karate like that doesn't sound too bad. And listen, I have frozen chicken that I really need to thaw out and, separate and, cook and shit. And that doesn't sound too bad. No, the real question is, I wonder if I can, cook it and then reheat it and bread it at a later time. I don't think that's a thing I can do. I think if I'm going to bread it, I'd have to do it first, which would be fine. I'm trying to cook more, and I might start uploading that on as content on either the gaming channel or maybe just start like using my original channel as a vlogging channel. That's actually not too terrible of an idea. Because, like, the TikTok's kind of the all-in-one space, which you should go follow, by the way, to where I upload the gaming and the anime, but maybe, as I'm already doing, I can include vlogs on there. Ooh, or I could just do vlogs on TikTok only. That actually wouldn't be a bad idea. We'll see, because I also need to find, like, the arm I can set my phone on to record and shit, so. You will be one day, don't worry. And she's just so confused. Meanwhile, Suzuka just third-partying again. Just kind of there. Damn. The chicken block. Wait. The devastation in Yu's face. Yeah, that was it. She totally didn't just want to, like, destroy her friend's feelings for a minute. Oh shit, she might actually get that strength she wanted earlier. Cuckoo? You know, actually, there's a thing I could say. I'm not going to say it, but I'm just going to talk about it for another couple of seconds here. And, like, those of you that get it, understand what I'm referring to here. And based on the conversation earlier, it makes for an even better joke. So, honestly, I applaud the writers on that, and now I go back. And now, despite what I said about not wanting to specify it, what I will specify is, to be fair, Suzuka, you kind of cuckooed her. Yeah, but A, it is Atori's fault, and B, also, you know, best friend helping? Crush helping. Which I feel like is also a plotline that they've used in a bunch of cartoons in the past. Am I wrong? I feel like that's been a thing here and there. Maybe not cartoons specifically, but like cartoon sitcoms, you know, back when TV was good in the early 2000s, instead of where it is now, where it might be kind of like this, but you also have either the most devastating, you know, characters internally, or the most devastating looking characters appearance-wise because they were drawn in the most insane fashion. Like, and yes, I am mocking stuff like Big Mouth because Jesus, have you seen those characters? Yeah, she got sent to the stratosphere today. Other than when Suzuka kinda... Don't break something just because Suzuka suggested that might help you more, you. I repeat, don't consider that as an actual suggestion. Also, speaking of Suzuka, I see what's on her bag, and let me tell you, looking a Labubu in the face, like, from 2 feet away, is a terrifying experience. Because I was at a concert Thursday, and a girl in front of me had a Labubu, and I was just kind of looking at it for a couple of minutes, like, those things are fucking terrifying. So was this just going to be where they confirmed that at minimum it's just going to be some kind of 4-way polycule like in Wanari? Meanwhile, Snake Girl just kind of walks in trying to give her some shit. Hey, yo? Is she trying to feed into Yu's jealousy because she's actively aware of the crush? Honestly, that sounds like something a reptilian style person would do. At least she has a cute external, unlike, you know, her internals, which are debatable. Debatable. Wow. Left her foaming at the mouth. Meanwhile, actually, the original plan was probably told to her ahead of time where Atori was going to invite you, and she's just doing that to fuck with her. Or she's going with Atori and she's doing it just to fuck with her even still. Now, did she also do the same to Atori just to fuck with her involving you? Because just to make the whole thing a thing. You still remember why we're here, yeah? Huh? We were here for a specific... Oh, right, Atori. So, one of the three of them is inside of that costume, right? And when I mean three, I either mean Atori, her friend, or Rue for some random reason. Well, there's Atori, and some other blue-haired girl. Oh no, the silver-haired one. Okay, so that's her sister. Because we literally saw her with head in lap of somebody else last episode who I assumed was her sister, and I mean, granted, it could be her girlfriend, but I'm going with sister. And she's resorted to foaming at the mouth again. Damn! I'm sorry I didn't have anything specific to talk about. Honestly, I was just going to give a brief moment to give more further kudos to artists, because really, I explained in non-manga last week from when this is being uploaded about, how different the characters are being shown off. And while saying that much means you can kind of go over where my thought process is in this current moment of, despite it not happening a second ago, it's totally happening now. So, just artists that can do both sides are kind of crazy. Especially when it's like using either similar clothing, like here, or different clothing, like Wanare. Are you sure that's a good idea? Maybe that might make Atori actually jealous. And maybe that will make me not wrong about the, other thing. Then again, I don't think the blue-haired one would be that evil. Like, fucking with Atori? Sure. Or fucking with you? Sure. Fucking with Atori? Maybe? Did she say Bunny Spears? She did. That's great. Okay, the artist might have drawn those questionably, but... You're in a fucking teacup ride. What did you expect? It's going around and around. Or it might be that one where the base goes around and around, and then the teacups go their own round and round. Honestly, those ones are probably the better teacup ride. Like, they might not be for adults per se, unless you just want, like, a fun outing on a date or something. Because, listen, doesn't matter how old you are, there are certain things that are still nice to do on a date like that. I wouldn't know because I haven't been on a date in half my life. But I digress. Okay, so it is the second one, as I said. She tried. She's also not the Flash. Like, she can't... Or, Flash? Superman? I think both of them did it. Where you're trying to, like, run around to do a specific task. That is not how that goes. Also in cases like this that have happened throughout fiction, as I've said before, won't people ever consider it might be more of, like, a familial thing and you were just being slightly screwed with? Because the wording that she was given was spending time with someone important to them, wasn't it? Or something vague to that effect that could also mean familial. Because, yeah, I've literally seen these whole, like, date stalking scenarios happen and stuff, and I'm just like, 90% of the time, it ends up to be a sibling. That is a questionable thought process to try and ruin somebody's date experience, as well as an interesting visual. Though I will give you the credit to at least suspect it's a date, because look at that hairstyle. That is like the Riz hairstyle. I'm not just talking about H content. Like, remember Dead Mount Deathplay? That show I still need to finish? The way the girl entered the show with the serial killer and then they came out a couple? That face you make when you realize you're not as smart as you think you are, and you're thankful it wasn't in front of the girl you like, but rather the one that has liked you through all your bullshit. I didn't know how to finish that sentence, so I paused. I'm sorry. Like, there was a few things that entered my mind on how to finish that. That's what I went with. Listen, at least all of that weight is going to the places where it matters and not to where it would be bad. Yeah. The look of the damn, server is like, what? Another credit to the artist, speaking of the server. Anyway. It being called a couple's cappuccino is insane, by the way. Why is the server back at their table? Yeah, she's foamy at the mouth. Eyes have gone blank. She's out. What is with the, like... What is with the statue just chilling there drinking it himself? That shit's expensive. Especially for a teenager. Even though in that other show that is really just eye candy and that's about it. There are teenagers, which is insane, but... Actually, can we talk about that just for 2 seconds? I know the show is trash, I know the plot's trash, I know the guy's trash, but like... How did they make that, again, teenager-focused? Like, making that college-focused would have made a little bit more sense, because, like, the guy could have been able to afford it, the women would have been old enough to work in that profession, and, like, at the minimum. I don't know. I don't get how shows like that get so big. I mean, granted, I know how they get so big. Look at Suzu. Should you have? Because she seems to have, like, really been warming up to you lately. Oh, sweetheart, that's fine. I feel like that all the time in front of couples. Because I realize how absolutely pointless it is to have any hope I'll ever find love again. You, on the other hand, again, good-looking woman, young. Not young to the point where it's weird if I'm complimenting in theory, but yeah. Because anybody who says that to young people should be in jail. Like, people that say it to young people in the sense where they're basically adults, yeah, it's different. And don't get on me with the technicalities, because again, A, they're drawings, B, America's the only one that's real dickwads like that. But C, not like I'd have hope even if I did shoot that low. Unless I become a weirdo, which, God forbid. Like, shit, if I ever become that kind of weirdo, definitely end me. Meanwhile, because she's feeling like that, Suzuka is going to go over and just ask. I don't know, she's just going to hit her. Hold on, why was that kind of smooth? Like, to say a line like that and then transition it into this, why was that actually kind of smooth? Like, I'll go over another connection to something I just said of, don't do that because that makes you a scumbag, in theory. But also, she's just saying it to try and push her on the confidence end to at least, like, find out if it's true. To which, good for her, and that was kind of smooth to make it work. And that might, like, give you the kick in her ass, both literally and metaphorically, she needed. Cinema. The thumbnails paint themselves, even if it's a bait. Well, we knew she would see them at some point. Seeing them sipping that romantic-ass drink together, that's a different story. Well, who's the real guilty one, though? Okay, looking at the cut between, now I have an additional thing to add to this. Yes, it might very well just be her sister. However, she also might very well just be a siscon. Oh no. This might be a little son, but, oh no. Oh no. Yeah, that is understandable. Well, to a point. Damn, the other girl's eyes are, like, quivering, though. Like she's worried about Atori stopping here. Bitch, don't just admit it. Like Suzuka said. Okay, so that was the wording of it. Okay, that does lead you to believe that it might be a girlfriend situation, but also, it very well could be wrong. Atori is not even letting you ask. She's just kind of like continuing on with her thought. She is very guilty of that, though. And yeah, even though you don't want to be a part of it, you're being forced to be a part of it because, well, some people are unlucky. I would know about being an unlucky third wheel, or I guess in her case, fourth wheel, in things that you don't want to be a part of. Like, just very, very disturbing situations that might be fun to some people, but has just added to my trauma. Okay, for one, in either case, whether it be like a sister thing or more, she's totally gay. Look at that hand positioning. For two, she's also an asshole. Okay, the way she self-imposed said I'm her most special person, definitely sister, definitely siscon. Well, kinda. Okay, she's just confirming what I said more, but used too envious and jealous to actually comprehend it. Pause. That just confirms what I said personally further. Like, sleeping and bathing together are one thing. Like, it might be weird as teenagers, but sure, I can go with that being like a sister thing, especially if you like live in a cheap house, so you conserve on water and living space. But the staring at your sister while she sleeps thing, that's an entirely different story. Not while she sleeps, while she showers. And that just goes back to what I said at the beginning of the episode about voice actresses having fun together. There's that confirmation. I mean, it was kind of obvious from the beginning, but... Well, yeah. Same eyes, same facial features, same... Well, I mean, take this opportunity, but... Hey, yo, I feel like that's going a little far. I mean, granted, good you're being honest, but I feel like that's a little far. Tough shit. Atori's kind of taking a liking to her. Also, bitch, don't just, like, push into your sister and pull that kind of shit. You're not 8. Like, she is a minimum of 14, I'm giving, and she's acting like she's a child. Listen, as much as I kind of sort of go with the whole, thought process of people under a certain age can't think too much in certain areas for themselves, what I will say is physical development at least pushes to a certain point of you can think for yourself more. And again, full disclosure, first girlfriend, we were both of that kind of age, and she definitely had that kind of figure. Not to be weird in my adult age by stating that, but she still probably is pretty hot nowadays, unless she kind of went off the deep end, but... And I won't lie, I kind of have had the occasional thought here and there of, like, finding her again on social media, because desperation is getting very high, but that's another topic entirely. My point being, if you look like you're an adult, hopefully you have at least enough of a thought process to not be a whiny bitch to your sister. Or in general, but that's why if you're not enough, up here to not be a whiny bitch in general, make sure you reduce your human interaction as much as possible. I do. I reduce my human interaction as much as I can by not going out into public for more than necessary. And if I have a problem with something, I don't handle it. Easy as that. Because I will go off on people, maybe get blacklisted, maybe get arrested if I go off on people because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like, even, Daddy YouTube can tell you that I go off on people because they do the wrong things and they end up ignoring me or pretending like they can't help me half the time. Which, before I go back to the episode, speaking of small on-topic thing, YouTube, be better. Like, just in general, be better. Stop being a cuck about my content, about my copyright lack of. If I upload a full episode, full opacity, and don't talk through the whole thing, sure, you can pop me. But when I upload the episode with the opacity at a certain point and I just give my reactions, reviews, and stuff, Don't be a cuck. And matter of fact, big guy, big boss man in charge, if you ever step down, don't give the company to a Karen. Matter of fact, give it to a 40-something-year-old who might have a clue how to bring YouTube back to its former glory. Because YouTube was great. It was a promised land for creators. Now the best thing y'all have to offer is payment. But that doesn't matter for people who, have been working for a long time for nothing. So, be back to where you once were. Reduce your unnecessary requirements. At least make it realistic for people. And now I return to your regularly scheduled programming. Now that I've gotten out there that this place is just not as good as it once was, but I'm still here to try and try and try until things happen. Okay, people on the internet saying that sisters are supposed to be clingy with each other are obviously only part of a certain kind of fandom. To which I will add on to, because it's one of my more popular videos, that in some ways I might be a part of that thought process as well. But listen, there's a difference in, in situations like in Citrus, and when your blood-related sisters being that clingy with each other. Damn, shit, she's right. Now, who says you can't? No. Who says you can't? I mean, granted, there are probably some Asian cultures, if not all, that are against the marriage of two of the same sex, but A, that doesn't mean there aren't some places where you can theoretically do it illegally. B, not like they can't fly somewhere where it is legal. So, well, because they're both in love with you, and only one of which can be correct in that thought process. I don't know if that thought process is correct, mind you. It might help, but I don't think it's correct. Meanwhile, stealing Suzuka just will make them both jealous. Which, I guess, technically, a united jealousy is something to work with. They feel like they're being abandoned now. It's actually working already. No, they just immediately went with the, we'll pretend to get along just so this doesn't get ruined. Exactly what I thought. Honestly, and the reaction from Suzuka's probably going to be, well, that was fast. I feel she's pushing. Yeah, that's something you consider, huh? Suzuka's putting up with having her arm grabbed by Atori, but they're just like, fuck. Sorry for this pause. That's actually more potential thumbnail material. Again, potential. That it is so forced. You can tell it is so. Look at the vein on the inside of her arm. I love how they're both thinking of the same plan at the same time. Okay, again, we're just gonna question the sisters' thought process here, but I called it before it was even announced. But secondarily on that thought process, why in both of their visions is Atori the masculine one? That's my genuine question. Why is she the one wearing male clothing? I'll add on to what I said in Watanabe last week. Atori looks good in a suit. Kind of like Mai's Maidler does. But still. I love how both of them are probably definitely planning on sitting with her, but the one that probably will be Suzuka. So y'all are sitting in it together, you realize that, right? They do realize that, right? L, as I said. And that was the backseat. L. And Suzuka probably knows logically she should probably get up and kind of push you over, but she's not gonna, just to fuck with them. And she's gonna fuck with them too. Well, at least she's not gonna fuck with her too hard. She very easily could have, though. Damn, the scream so loud that the entire park heard them. I knew I had a good feeling she was the one in there, honestly. If it wasn't Atori on a job or something, or ruined there for some ungodly reason, I kind of had a feeling it was her, and she's eating this drama up. Hey, yo! She's being a gay-ass voyeur, and meanwhile, they're just wondering, what are you doing over there? Huh. So she's one of those characters too, huh? She's not just like up here, very reptilian, but also just a super perv. That kind of makes sense. Actually, here's a wild comparison. She's just a female Hisoka. Because, like, she's eating up the gay shit. She's very gay herself. But she's also that super pervert to the point she's hyperventilating while going through her own monologue. That is very Hisoka coded. I knew that'd be the end of the episode. But first, do we get a after credits comedy bit? Flashback to middle school days? Or is this just some dramatization of hers? Yep, middle school. Okay, maybe it is a dramatization because... Or maybe it is a flashback. I don't know, I'm kind of confused because... You know, it started on a, hey, we're going to the same high school together. Actually, I'm going to go somewhere else. Then that's where we currently are. And, like, I think we're going down Suzuka's own path of, you know, appreciation for you. Ah, and that must have been where she met Atori at cram school. It was. Okay. I am trying to consider, is this an actual flashback or is this a crazy visualization? Honestly, might have her wake up in some kind of dream sequence at the end. But is this actually exposing the truth of Suzuka being just actually having her own crush on you? Like, I kind of did theorize that early, but this might be more confirming. But if it ends up in a dream sequence, maybe it's just like her losing it a little. Or maybe that's how she took her slip into being a bad girl herself. And meanwhile, in the same flashback, Atori is the one that ended up helping her get good grades enough to go to that same high school. Yeah, and she notices the name tag, which makes things a little awkward for her. Now I'm even more curious to see if this is an actual flashback and not just a dream sequence, because that being one of their first interactions... Well, she wasn't wrong. Oh, that was a genuine flashback we got to see. Which, like, I won't lie, I did kind of, like, have a feeling that Suzuka might, you know, obviously have her own feelings for you. Because why else would she have thought of the thing she did in episode 2 that Atori pointed out? Now, honestly, again, great after episode art, by the way. Like, congrats to the artist on that one. Like, not just the artist of the actual show does a great job, the after episode art is amazing too. But that was definitely an interesting turn on all counts, because finding out Atori had a sister wasn't a shock, because we did see that last episode. She had her head resting in somebody's lap, and, well, logically, that had to be the case. Her sister being a siscon, I was not expecting, but sure. The part that I wasn't expecting quite to the degree we just saw was us being shown a thing that's basically Suzuka admitting she is also in love with you. So, alright. So right now we have the pieces of, well, in Watanabe fashion, kinda, sorta. We have you as, you know, the lead harem protagonist, essentially. Because you have her being interested in Atori, who's kinda interested in her. There's Rue, who's also interested in her. There's Suzuka, who is also interested in her. And then on the side, you have, you know, Atori's sister, who's interested in her. And the blue-haired girl, who's interested in both Atori and you. So, other than Ms. Atori, the rest of them are just down bad for you. So honestly, the way they're doing this is in similar fashion to the way the relationships are being built in Wanare, but instead of all of them starting out as friends, they're all becoming friends slowly, even if some of them are very reluctant to that fact. Case in point, Suzuka, which I guess actually, based on what we got shown there at the end, makes very good sense why she feels the way she does about Atori, and why she made the comment over my dead body when she made the joke about them dating instead. But I hope we, honestly get more exposition to that too at some point. Because I keep seeing more on Suzuka's feelings would be kind of interesting. But you can let me know your thoughts on all of that, as I always say, in the comment section down below, because it's, always encouraged to do such and appreciated. And speaking of appreciated, as always, it would be appreciated to hit the like button, subscribe to the gaming channel in the description, ring both bells, pause. Don't forget to comment about any other shows, movies, etc. I should check out this season, next season, or in general as well. Ring both bells like Facebook, follow Twitter, and Blue Sky. Keep updated with things, TikTok, Patreon. Get the full unedited visual and audio of the stuff I upload here starting in October, because Patreon are dipshits when it comes to storage space. But, if I get more people through frequently, then I'll at least be able to consistently add stuff. Go follow Twitch, subscribe for benefits, can do so Twitch Prime for free, helps me out immensely for the temporary, this for the long term, even if, the big guy and anyone else is kind of a dumbass and doesn't know how to help people in that aspect. Shrug. Check out the playlist here, we'll let run through a conversation with stuff within whatever, check out the video recommended for you by YouTube here, or if you're watching the bigger version, the smaller version, to see what you missed. Until next time, been the Blazer King, sign out, ta-ta for now, with King's Critiques. Peace.